So today we will see that how we can work with your ID, classes and all the elements. So before that, what do I want to do is open it with your live server. See, here is your DOM, and now include some things here. So before that, I want to remove this background color and let's put the text as black. Okay, and if you will not define it, by default it is going to be black only. So let's put this h1 inside your div. Okay, and to this I want to add some styling. So let's suppose I am giving it a class container1. Okay, so this is my class. Now I want to select this particular container, this particular element with the help of JavaScript. So how I will do? First of all, you need to select your document as always. Then document dot select your body dot div. So inside body you have div, right? So what do you think? Every time do you need to write this particular thing again and again, that body div? No. So directly put document dot get element by ID, but I am not using ID. What I am using over here is class. So you will use class. Get element by class name. And in this you have to write the name of the class as it is, which is your container. To this, what you want to do, you want to add style dot background color okay, and see, you need to click on here and check this particular thing. Click here. You can see you have a div and inside that you have h1. But before that, just do one thing. Instead of writing it like this, put it inside your double quotes. And now check. After using this, just put equals to and put your container name. Or you can have also a variable name. Okay, so put background div equals to document dot get element by class name, and now add your class name, this container1. Okay, that means you have selected this particular container and you are putting it inside this variable. Now you can select this background div dot and you want to have a style dot background is equals to whatever the color name is. Okay, so now let's check how your query selector works. So before that, what do you want to do is clear this thing, and now you have div which is containing your heading. Remove these things from here and let's see how our query selector works. So select document dot body dot get element by, or leave this, you just select your query selector. Now query selector means you want to select only one element. Okay, and let's suppose you have written div over here. Do not forget to write it in double quotes dot style dot color equals to, put as your red color. Okay, now see what query selector is doing over here. Whenever I am writing query selector, it will always select the very first element of your document. Even if I will copy this thing and paste it over here, just replace it with H2 and see your second element is not having the same color, because the property is only applied to the first element. To rest of the element it will not be applied, because it will only select the first one. Now to differentiate both of them, what you can do is, first of all, change this color to something called white, and similarly you can add a background color in same way. For this query selector, div dot style dot background color equals to, done. Now check, see it's working fine. Okay, and after that you can always write over here your style and use a universal selector where you want to put margin as 0. So all the documents will have the margin 0. Now we want to add some padding to this. So every time writing this again and again, query selector will be a longest thing. So let's make it a shorter one. How we will do that? Instead of doing this, what you will do, create a variable of container 1 equals to, and store this thing. Okay, after that you can select your container, which is the variable 1, and paste your rest of the styling part, whichever you have copied from here. Now you will see that this is perfectly fine. Similarly, now we want to add padding. Do it, container dot style dot pad equals to 10 pixel. From all the sides this will be working. Okay, even if you will increase, the padding will increase. See, so this is how your query selector works. So there is one more method which is known as query selector all. Query selector all means it will be selecting your all the methods at once, your all the elements at once. So let's see, if I'm changing this to all instead of selecting one. Now go back, refresh it. See, it is not working on even single one. There is a reason behind it, because whenever you select your element with the help of all, you are applying the previous thing, so you need to remove it. Comment this out also and just print your all the elements, so you will get to know that it is printing what. So copy this and paste it. So see, when you just put query selector all and you are consoling it, open it. See, it is giving you an indication that it will not be executed, because query selector all on element, it requires only one argument. So we need to specify what it needs. So write your div here. See, when you are selecting div, it is giving you 2 node list. Now why it is giving you 2 node lists? Just look at your document. It is having 2 divs. That means this is at 0th index and this is at 1st index. And you can see here also, at 0 your div 1 is present, at 1 your div 2 is present, but the length of your node list is 2. So it is giving you the array, because this element is converted into objects. So all objects are always represented in this array form. Okay, so now let's move forward. what if you selected all the elements and now you want only one element according to the index? So for that you will do this. You have to use a square bracket and after that you will put the index. But see one thing, when you will do 0, you will get this div printed in the console. So now you got how things are working. So what you can do, see, it is h1. But when you will go back and instead of 0 you will write 1, you will get the second div which will have your h2. See? So this is how your JavaScript query selector all works. Now you can add style if you want. Style dot background color equals to. So it is printing, you need to remove console from here. Leave rest of the code as it is and remove console when you want to apply it. And one more thing is this dot. It will not come like this. Okay. So now write your style dot, let's suppose background color equals to orange. See, now it is working perfectly fine. So this is the way if you want to select, even if you have selected all the elements, but you want to select only specific element. So this is how you will specify the index and this will get applied. After query selector, now let's see how we can use ID. So comment this out and go to your this and let's have one ID. ID equals to heading 1. Okay, I'm giving it heading 1. So let's select this, how we can do that. Before that, you need to go with document dot get element by ID. Okay, so in this you need to add your ID. Heading 1. Copy this and your heading should be exactly same. Now put dot and you need to put body over here. Dot get element by ID dot style dot, let's suppose you want to add some font size, or let's suppose you want to have color equals to green. So refresh this and let's see why it is not working. We need to check it. Okay, so document dot body dot get element by ID and you selected your ID dot color equals to so there is something which we need to change. Let me just show you what. See, it is not coming over here. So for that, what do I need to do? It is by selecting by ID. So see, for that you don't need to write over here your body. Just select the element and do this thing. See, now this particular thing is working. So why it was not working? So whenever you use this method of selecting get element by ID and the query selector, when you were selecting your queries with the help of query selector method, then you need to write body. Okay, and let me give you the example of this also, that if you don't write body in that and you directly use query selector style this. Okay, so remove this extra dot from here and see, this will not work because query selector need body, because it is going to select all the elements. So you need to have a body, because inside document, inside body, you want to apply query selector. But this thing will perfectly work because you want to use a method to directly use it. Now similarly, if you have a class name, put a class equals to heading 2. Now I am using a class for heading 2. So for that thing you need to go to document dot get element by class name. So you will add your class name, which is your heading 2, and put dot style dot color equals to green. Okay, so now let's go back and check. It should be same. Use class over here. Okay, so I hope you have understood all these things, that how you can use query selector all, get element by ID, and how you can apply different types of style, how you can store it in the variable, and you can use different styles at once. So I hope you have understood all the things, and rest of the things we will be covering in the next lecture. Thank you so much everyone.